Previously on the Frontier Farmer. Our tractor-run friends have been bogged down from leaving, but they brought along some plows because they've offered to help plow up field number 3. Some of our settlers are busy working. They're going to be extending this road, and then at some point we are going to have to patch repair field number 4 and merge it with field number 3 like we planned. There we go, the snow has cleared away. Our friends are underway, working side by side to get this field ploughed up. Let's look on from the sidelines and see how they get on. And just like that, our friends have finished the ploughing of field 3. Right, they are setting off. Goodbye everyone. We can head straight over to Burfield and get liming. And I'm going to get those bales shifted, and then we can move on to selling the wood chips. Another lovely flat bridge. And here is where we are going to place our new wood storage yard. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. It's now February, and as you can see, Thomas has just set off with a whole load of logs, and we're going to be following him over the bridge to the new wood storage yard, which is where he's going to be unloading the logs. And that wood storage yard is going to help with the distribution of wood across a lot of our productions. But yes, main reason we are heading over here today is that I have heard that our settlers have been busy working on a new patch where the settler farm is going to go, and they've made a bit of a clearing where they're going to be starting some work, which is quite interesting. But yes, chance for us to follow Thomas over to Riverways this morning to deposit the wood and check out what they have been up to. There we go, Thomas is careering around the forest and over the nice new smooth bridges which we built. And there we go, the wood storage yard is where he will be unloading. So we will leave him to it. But this area to the left, it looks as if some clearing has taken place and some trees have been cut down already. And I can see the forestry machine down here. Looks like the bulldozer has done a fair bit of clearing this space. And I think we are looking at the new settler farm site. And I can see the chaps busy at work. Looks like they're going to start clearing this area of trees. So we will be leaving them to it because we have a bit of a job this morning. We are going to be heading over to the old Forestry Commission site where they have a sawmill. And I think we are going to be sort of commandeering that space because we want to build some bigger factories, and it's going to save us deforestering some more space in the dark forest for productions because that site is already quite well cleared. And I think we are going to be placing a sugar mill for our sugar beet to be processed into sugar, and that sugar can then be used in our dairy to make chocolate. So we want to be grabbing this trailer here and taking it over to our root crop cellar where we stashed the 56,000 litres of sugar beets. I don't want to be using all of the sugar beets, but we will certainly try and fill a trailer. Now I don't know whether this trailer is going to be too tall for our root crop cellar. We will have to see how high the conveyor goes. yes, we want to be heading over this way. Right, I think we want to be installing this conveyor here. There we go. Okay, that should be tall enough. We'll see how we get on, but let's do a load of sugar beets and take it over to the Forestry Commission site. We have made it to the old Forestry Commission site, and what a site. It is looking a little bit derelict, that's for sure. And is that our Tiger Cat forestry machine? I think it is. Now, last time we saw that it was obviously malfunctioning, and we left it with the distribution centre to fix up, but seems like perhaps they haven't been able to, and they've just dumped it here. That's not a huge problem because we have the leab here, which is going strong, and the settlers are using that in putting it to good use. Right, there's a few other bits of equipment here which we will look to keep. Now, I was going to demolish this sawmill, but I think we'll probably keep it as a bit of a administration building. But yes, we need a space for our sugar mill to go, and I'm thinking in this corner over here is where we will build it. So let's get it constructed. Oh, what a construction. And there's our rather large sugar mill. Fantastic. Right, let's get this 45,000 litres of sugar beets unloaded. That's left around 10,000 litres in our cellar to keep the pigs nice and happy. They don't go through too much root crop, so that is good news. But yes, I think the IFA was struggling ever so slightly getting this load over here. It is rather heavy, but I think we deposit the sugar beets up on this space here, so let's just angle ourselves correctly and get this unloaded on this platform here. There we go, we can unload the sugar beet. In it goes. Right, so let's take a look at the sugar mill. It looks like we can make sugar beet cut sugar, and sugar cane sugar. We only have sugar beet, so that's the only recipe we can activate, and that will turn 2 sugar beet into 1 unit of sugar. But it can do quite a lot of cycles, so we'll go ahead and activate that. And I think what we'll do is, obviously we'll be managing some of the deliveries, so we will set this to distribute directly to our dairy. And that means that our dairy can use milk and sugar now, once that's made, to turn it into chocolate. But unfortunately, it looks like we've run out of milk because the butter and cheese has stopped producing. Super. Well, that is a nice addition to the dark forest and is going to help us with producing even more goods. Fantastic. Right, yes, I think we will probably look to develop this area even more in the future. Be nice to clear some of these weeds out if we can, and also potentially place a large shed or warehouse to put some of the equipment in, and yes, any other factories that we choose we could place here. But for now we'll do a dash back to the homestead because we've got some other jobs to be getting on with. We have to plough up field 4, which was compacted and partially destroyed from the winter tractor fair. So we need to plough that up, and we also want to join it up with field number 3, where the ploughing party kindly ploughed it up for us last time. And then I think we'll have some stone picking to do. Much faster journey back with a empty trailer. let's get this parked up and we can switch over to the Kirovets. Now here is the old field 4 where it has been damaged and we need to replow it. So let's hop in the Kirovets, and I'm thinking that we are probably going to be trading in our plow. We used a new disc plow with the Kirovets when we created new field, and it worked okay, but it did seem to miss patches when it was being raised and lowered at the end of each row. So I'm thinking we are going to trade that out for something a little bit different and potentially a little bit bigger. So let's get the other disc plow and take it over to the distribution center, because I think they've got something that we can use. So that's the cultivator and the roller. Where did I park up the plow? I drove right past it because it was literally right next to the Kirovets in terms of sheds. There we go, the Lizard Arc. So yes, we are going to be trading this out for something potentially a little bit better. Laid it over here, so let's drop it around the back and get it sold. And what we're going to be purchasing is this Case IH770. It needs 200 horsepower to pull this disc plow. It's 7.2 meters wide, so I think that is wider than the one we've just sold, and it's a very modest $10,500. So we are going to be purchasing this. Colour scheme matches up quite nicely with the Kirovets, which is good news. Let's get hitched up and head on back to the homestead to get field 4 reploughed. Okay. So we are going to be taking the opportunity to merge field 3 and 4, and we will have to rename the field. But let us get on folded, and this plough is probably oversized for the job I am undertaking, but nonetheless we are going to be utilising it. And let's lower away and get started with merging the fields. I might have to come and just straighten up some of the lines. There we go. But we are creating fields, and it looks like the discs are ploughing and then actually turning it into a cultivated state, so that is a bonus for us. I ventured over a little bit wide, but never mind. We are setting new boundaries for the field. Let's turn the corner here, and that is a bit of a square turn, but yep, we will do our best to try and make this marry up as best as possible. Raising up, and we have merged field 3 and 4 and repaired the patches of field 4 that needed repairing. Now, I did spot a couple of mounds in the area where field 4 was, and I think that's where we had some compaction from the market stalls and things that we placed in and around there, so I will have to make sure that it is smoothened out over time, because otherwise we might find our combines or our planters or drills might struggle with it. But I am mighty pleased with how this new disc plough has managed. And I think because of the dual rows of discs, it does act as a plough, and then it also cultivates the ground as well, which is superb. So, good addition. We'll get this parked up where the old disc plough was. Now it is on to stone clearing. And I have a plan for stone clearing, and it involves swapping out some of our equipment once again. We will be trading in the stone picker and replacing it with 2 bits of equipment that I think are hopefully going to speed up and make the job a little bit easier. It's sticking out a bit, but that will do for now. And we can park up the Kiravets and jump in the International Harvester. I think that's probably going to be the best tractor for the job. There we go. And this is the stone picker we are going to be trading in. It looks like it's got some stones still in there. But let's hop in the International Harvester and get it traded. Mighty dirty once again, the International Harvester. It does work hard when it's in the fields. There is Barkamus having a little roam. Right, we'll head over to the distribution centre, ditch the stones on the way, and trade it in. Another return or sale for the day. And this is going to be part 1 of the replacement, the Lizard ERP 3500 rake. This takes 120 horsepower to run. It's 4 meters wide, so double the width of our previous stone picker. But what it does is actually shift the stones to the side. So the idea is you make a channel of stones that you can come along in one swoop and pick up with the stone picker, which will be part 2 of the purchase. So we're going to buy this for $14,000, and then once we've raked the stones, we'll come back and buy a brand new stone picker. Here it is, the new rake, and it's looking pretty good, nice and clean compared to our International Harvester, but have managed to match up the colours quite nicely. Made it back, and we'll head over this way to get started. And yes, we do need to find a new name for this field. It is near the animal farm and it backs on to our yard, so I don't know, we could call it Animal Yard Field or Merged Field. Don't know, let me know your thoughts. Right, we'll get this unfolded, and I have no idea which way it is going to rake these. I will have to adjust accordingly. But we'll switch on and lower away, and then hopefully we'll see which way it is going to rake the stones. Can't really see which way it is raking at the moment. Okay, so I've been doing some testing, and it seems like you have to set it to empty the stones as you are going. So yes, this is where it is now depositing the stones to the side, and we can see that it is depositing them on the right hand side. So we will try and rake accordingly. I think I probably should have been going the other way to try and rake in towards the middle of the field. So that's probably what I'm going to do, to be fair. I'm going to raise up, turn around and start going the other way, and we'll just spiral around the field until we have all the channels of the stones raked in towards the middle. rake off. And I think we can fold it away now. And I gotta say, I'm not convinced. It was a little bit finicky, and you might notice that at some places it was not depositing the stones correctly, and I was having to try and force it to drop them off, and the message was popping up to tell me that I couldn't do that. So it doesn't seem to like certain areas of the field and depositing the stones. And one of the drawback is that once you have raked the stones, the pile they create, it can't be re-raked, so you can't go over and over each of the lines to kind of rake it up like a windrow, which, to be honest, I think you would be able to do in real life. So that is a bit of a disappointment from my perspective, and certainly is not the answer that I was looking for in terms of ease of rock clearing. So I think we'll be taking this back to the distribution centre. We will purchase its sister stone picker to trial out for a sort of one time, but yes, I don't think we will be using this for the long term on the homestead, and we'll probably have to look for something that's going to help us out in the future next time we have to clear rocks. Third sale of the day. They are going to think that I'm very picky selling all this equipment. And we'll be giving this lizard pickup chassis a go. It's got a 3500 litre capacity, so that's bigger than anything we've used this far, and 100 horsepower, so fairly easy to pull, but only 2 meters width, so it's a bit thinner. There we go, it is attached, so let's dash back and get those stone channels all collected. What a crock. This has not particularly gone very well, in my opinion. The collection of rocks seems to be, again, rather finicky, and it's relying on you predicting how full the front rake is before you then need to lift it up and throw it into the back hopper, and then the back hopper requires a mouse hold and pull to actually empty it out. So for me, that drags up the auto drive and course play menus, which is a little bit annoying. I'm actually going to test to see if my side panel will work with it. It does for the front. How about for the rear one? No, doesn't seem to be. Okay, it does work. So that would have been a little bit easier if I had known, but we are using this for the first time, so it is sometimes hard to see. Right, we've deposited quite a lot of rocks here. We'll have to come and move some of these away at some point. And I'm thinking one production that can go in the old forestry commission site is a rock crusher to generate lime. I think that will be beneficial. Right, okay, I think I'm not going to plan on keeping this rock picker, stone picker, for the long term. It just feels rather awkward and finicky to me, so we could go back to our trusty old front bucket shovel for collecting stones, or we could look at a alternative option for collecting. But yes, the rake didn't prove to be particularly useful and was finicky, and this stone picker was very much the same. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes we do have to try these things and they don't work out, and that is just the nature of the business. So we will get this sold back to distribution centre. We've probably taken a small loss on buying and selling both bits of equipment, but hey ho, the bank balance is looking very good, even despite us spending $70,000 on the construction of the sugar mill. Yeah, 4th time sending something back. Not a good track record in the month of February for returning stuff. Ah, what a day. Sometimes things are just working against you, and it's really tricky to try and find what you're looking for in terms of a solution. I'm going to keep an eye out for potential opportunities for some stone pickers, and if you've got any ideas then please let me know. But I think the most efficient way we found to stone pick is just using the stone picker bucket on the front or back of the tractor. But time to go back to something that is trustworthy and we know does a good job, and that is our muck spreader, manure spreader, the Fortrit, if I don't crash into it. Right, we want to get this topped up with manure, and we are going to manure spread the merged field 3 and 4. I've been trying to think of some other names that we could call that field. Right, manure filled up, so let's get spreading. There we go. The muck has all been chucked, and I've been contemplating names for this field whilst I've been doing so. And I think the best I can come up with is Farmside, and Farmside Field is possibly a good name because this field runs along the side of our farm, and it's probably the closest field to the centre of our farm, so Farmside has a nice ring to it. But of course, let me know your thoughts, because I am open to any other field name suggestions. We'll get the muck wagon parked up now, and I think that is probably it for today. There we go, that's parked up. And it has been an interesting day, a day of good points, getting our sugar mill set up, seeing how the settlers have got on starting their settler farm clearing, and it has been a day of bad points in terms of the stone picker and stone rake not really working the way we expected, but at least we did get a nice new disc plow. But that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I think next month we will be moving on to some drilling. Now we've got a field ready to drill. Actually 2 fields. Farmside and Burfield. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on the Frontier Farmer. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.